Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you guys are enjoying this amazing day today. It's Thursday, and I just want to welcome you into this Thunder Thursday. Shouts out to all of you. It is Happy Faith every day on a thriving Thursday, and we are excited to be with you. Now, we are coming at a different time this week just for the sake of scheduling. There's a lot happening, a lot going on, and we just had to be diligent and we wanted to be consistent, being that this is the first. Not let's talk, but faith every day of the year, and I'm excited, man. So to some of you haven't seen or spoken with since last year, Happy New Year. I hope you're already engaging into a life changing, altering time and season of your life that you never thought would be possible. Well, I am your host today, Victor Johnson, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this conversation that we have. So I'm grateful for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, our podcast that's going, that's being recorded right now. And even those of you that are on the app, shouts out to all of you. We are so thankful and grateful that you are a part of this amazing time. It is where we bring faith into your function. Like faith has a place, it has a position, and it has a power in everything that you do. And so faith every day was the baby, the brainchild, the vision of a visionary, my friend and brother, Pastor Chandler Bailey of Right Direction Church International, out there in Columbia, South Carolina, who wrestled with this vision for years, and God allowed it to be released about 2 years ago, and just made it an everyday conversation in which we come and we just talk about our faith, we explore our faith, we expand our faith, and then we try to even navigate through and with our faith, right? And for some of us who may be challenged to whether or not we have it, we discover that we have the faith, right? And what we normally do is just deal with practical problems, whatever God would have on his agenda and on his mind, and try to find out where faith can fit. Because I'm telling you, faith is every day. Everything you do, you're doing it. You don't even know that you're doing it by faith, right? So we talk about it, we explore it, and we deal with all areas. I'm grateful to have an influence in certain areas, one being ministry, where I serve as one of the lead pastors of Revival Center Church of Virginia Beach. I steward that work along with my amazing wife of 25 plus years since the past December, Pastor Summer Johnson. Shouts out to her. I love her so much and appreciate her lean in and her ability to rock and roll with us through ups and challenging seasons, learning lessons. Know that there are no losses in Christ, but we will learn lessons in order to win better. And so I'm grateful for that. She's also the mother of our 4 amazing children. Just an impact, a voice of choice. She has so much value, and I just love and appreciate her life. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different when you can love a person because based on what they can do. But when you love a person because of who they are, it changes the demographic of your everyday. It changes how you see them, how you hear them. And I'm grateful that I get a chance to love somebody that I like. I get to live with somebody that I'm in love with. And I appreciate her loving me back and her saying yes, to not even knowing what our life was going to evolve into being. We didn't know 4 kids were coming out of our union. We didn't know all the things that God has allowed us to accomplish and things that we're navigating through. Like, we never knew. I just knew I wanted her. And I knew as long as I had her, nothing else mattered. Like, if it was going to be up, it was going to be up with her. If it was going to be a lesson to learn, it's going to be a lesson to learn with her. And I'm grateful for that privilege to be able to do life with her. We serve not just in the ministry, but we're also in the marketplace, where we are licensed realtors here in Virginia and in North Carolina. And we get to really establish an area of real estate where we coach, we train, we teach, we build, we rehab, we renovate. We sell. So we've done it all, and we are actually grateful to help others come into the privilege of home ownership. And so we're thankful for that space. Shouts out to our amazing team and family at Berkshire Hathaway RW Town Home Realty Services. And so we're grateful for the privilege that we have to be in that space. Our amazing broker just keeps the gas pedal down, man, to make sure that we don't lessen our potential, that we don't go back and not evolve and become what God has put on us to become. And it's powerful that some people can realize your potential even when you're challenged or troubled by present problems. I want to challenge you today. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to go too fast. I want to take my time and really hone in on what I really believe God has for me to share today to all of us. And so we steward the ministry, we steward the marketplace, and we're also in media. You can find us in any platform, on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel, Revival Center Church of Virginia Beach. You want to log in. You want to listen. I need you right now. Go to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Revival Center VA. Go and subscribe. As soon as you subscribe, just put I subscribed in the chat, right? And we get to just explore and expand God's message, his mindset, and we really bring it and package it in the form of ministry. And it just pulls out so much that I didn't know. We don't know. We knew that we needed. You don't know what you need until you need it, right? And I'm grateful that God has given us a grace to be on these platforms, to just speak to how we live, like as married couples, as a man, as a woman. And we can speak to when we were single and how that life looked and what that looked like. And then God allowed us to get married. And I'm great, man. I'm telling you, that life is different. And then he allowed us to become parents. Who in the world would have allowed Victor Johnson to become a parent? If y'all knew how and who I was as a young man, right? But we thank God, because outside of what we look to see as a problem, God already serves a purpose for it. God doesn't throw out anything. God uses everything. And even what you may be dealing with right now, what you may be challenged with right now, that doesn't look like it's from God. That doesn't look like God can use it. It looks like it's more against you than it is with you. I want to challenge your perspective to let you know that God can and will use it. I say this and I'm already pushing. Let me pray. Father, I just thank you for this time. I thank you for this moment. I ask for your grace. I ask for your anointing, that it will rest, rule, that it will resound to the ears and to the viewers on the other side of the lens. I pray that you will say something today that will bring back to their remembrance what you shared with them, that you will confirm some things during this conversation. You will cause some accountability to come forth during this conversation, that we won't just be hearers, but we will take it today and we will apply it to the areas that are needed to see the change that we desire and that you've designed. And we give you so much honor. We give you so much praise. In the strong name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Listen, I want to know how you're doing. How is your faith doing in the chat? Go ahead and drop in the chat how your faith is doing today. I need to see it. I really just want to know how your faith is moving, how you rocking, man. Are you slowful? Are you energized? Are you aggressively going after what you know God says you can have? Like, where are you in your life right now? I know it's early. I know we're right up. We're the 18th day of a brand new year. And I just want to know, where are you in the grand scheme of things? But I'm telling you, there are greater things ahead of you. And if you have the willingness to pursue it, I'm telling you, you're gonna experience it in a great, you're gonna experience it in a great way, at a great level, without measure. And I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to do that. Be there. Yeah, man. So listen, if you got some people within your community, I need you to tag them. I need you to get them in the room. Let them know. Let them know Faith Every Day is live in a living color, and we get ready to dive in because I want to share something with you today. I've been talking about us. I've been talking about a thing that God had given me, and ever since He's given it to me, man, I've just been diligent to steward it and unpack it, and not just receive it for what it is, but to unpack it for more of that which I didn't know. I want you to know there is more to you than you've ever seen, than you've ever experienced. But this is going to be the year that you come into the knowledge and into the revelation of the other you that you didn't know that was inside of you. There's another you inside of you. Can somebody put that in the chat for me? There's another you inside of you. And I want to introduce that to you. And so we've been using this common thing that this is going to be the best year ever. I know it don't look like it to you right now, but if you got the boldness, I need you to put it in the chat. My best year ever. This is going to be my best year ever. Let me tell you something very quickly. The most powerful thing on the earth is an idea. The most powerful thing on the planet is an idea. I want to tell you, I want to listen to me. Listen to me. I need you to wrap your head around this because we're going to move quick. The most powerful thing on the earth is an idea. Everything that we have become beneficiaries of, that we are recipients of, that as it relates to this planet, culminated from an idea. You want to know why your thoughts are always challenged? You want to know why the battleground is your brain and in your mind and in how you think? Is because the most powerful ability you have is to have an idea. I'm going to really try to do this talk without getting over emotional, without clapping, because I really want you to hear today. The most powerful thing that you possess is an ability to have an idea. Everything that exists came from an idea. It is the motivation that pushes idea to reality. Like even the idea that you've been denying because of what's been delivered. You're in something right now. But the idea you have is usurping its authority over what's trying to assassinate your present thought. Some of you right now are as much as you hated 2023. Right now, if you be honest, you got an issue with 24. He only been here 24 days. 18, I'm sorry. He only been here 18 days. And you have an issue with him right now. If you be honest with me, you can say, Pastor Vic, the first 18 days of this year have already exceeded the last 6 months of 2023. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be the best year ever. I have an idea on what this year is going to look like for me. Not only is that idea relative, but I'm putting it down on paper because I'm gonna make it real. That's the most powerful thing. Let's go Bible. The Bible says that in the beginning, before the worlds were framed, it was an idea on what this world would be like. Trees, wind, and water, and birds, and bears, and lions, and tigers, and bears, oh my, was a thought and an idea that was created to now be something that we see every day. I want to tell you, I hope y'all pick up what I'm dropping, pick up what I'm dropping, pick up what I'm dropping. It's the idea that begins the impartation. When you get the idea to grow a business, to start a business, to get married, to have children, to move, to build a house, to whatever you have a oh, okay, we gotta take it slow. 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 All right, we gotta take it slow. Somebody help your boy. Put this in the chat. Take it slow. Take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, oh, oh. All right, we're gonna take it slow. The powerful thing I want you to wrap your head around is your idea. Now, let me ask this question. What is the ideal year that you are looking to have? Have you even had a moment to think about the type of year that you want to experience? Or have we been so sedated to not having success till we just go out of one year to another? Not dreaming, not aspiring to be anything, not hoping for anything, just accepting whatever it is. I will submit to you, whatever you expect, that's exactly what you experience. Because it's coming from an idea. So if I don't have an expectation to dream, then there's nothing for me to look for. So some of us wake up every day aiming at nothing, and we hit it every time. What's your idea? What does it look like for you? What does success look like for you? What does a happy marriage look like for you? What does a dependable friend look like for you? What does a family? What's your idea of a family? I'm telling you, the most powerful thing on earth is an idea. When God had an idea for you and me, for this planet, it created what was consistent of what we are a part of right now. Everything that exists came from an idea first. It is the motivation for all created things. So I also got to challenge you to say that if the most powerful thing on the earth is an idea, then also the most dangerous thing on the earth is also an idea. I want to challenge you, man. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. We call an idea a precept. We call an idea, it is first a precept. Pastor Vic, what is a precept? A precept is a general rule intended or a regulated behavior or thought. A precept is a rule intended or a thought. It is an instruction, it is an order, it is a rule of action, it is an engagement into a relationship. Like, it's a precept. It's the start of something that is advised. It starts out as an idea or as a precept. When the precept forms into a thought, it becomes a concept. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. When it becomes a concept, woo, what is a concept? Well, a concept is when an idea is abstracted, when it is pulled out, when there is an intention for the idea. So we have the idea, which is the precept, and then we expand it to think about how bigger it can become. That's when it becomes a concept. But if we, but when the concept is fully expressed, it becomes a conception. When the concept fully expands, man, it at that point becomes a conception. It's like conceiving a child. It actually gives birth. to something. I want to attempt today to stir up your ability to have an idea. And I want to tell you, if this is going to be the best year ever, you're going to have to be the best you ever. And one of the first things I feel, y'all, even as I'm talking, one of the first things we got to do is we got to get your bondage. We got to get your belief out of bondage. Some of you don't even want to, don't want to believe for nothing. You said to yourself, nothing good has happened. I don't see it happening. So why should I even get amped, get excited? Because the only thing that has been consistent in my life has been inconsistency. We gotta break your belief out of bondage. All right. Watch this. If we misunderstand the original concept, the result is dangerous. It produces a misconception. And sadly, a great number of people today have a misunderstanding of God's potential purpose for their life. When you misunderstand, there is a disconnect. Oh man. In what you're called to do and what your purpose is and what you are really able to do. And what it's trying to do is kill your ability to have an idea. See, when God made you, he put a thing in you called purpose. Purpose reveals why you do what you do. Purpose reveals who you're supposed to do it with. Purpose reveals where you're supposed to do it. Purpose reveals when you're supposed to do it. But the reason why there is no where, when, or why is because there's been a misconception of your who. And when you don't know who you are, you cannot determine where you go. Man. Okay, let's work with it. Let's work with it. Let's work with it. If it's going to be my best year, your year doesn't create you. You create your year. If it's going to be my best year ever, then there's some things that Victor, I am going to have to be accountable to acknowledge that would be a hindrance from me getting to the year that I desire. Your year doesn't create you, you create you. You got to be willing to make some real adjustments. If we gonna walk into some real things, we gotta be willing, man. We gotta be willing to get our faith right. We gotta get our feelings in check. We gotta determine that future that we have, and we gotta put the necessary functions in place that are needed. A lot of us, our feelings are really emotionally talking us out of our purpose and our position. See, there's some things that you can no longer concede to that you did last year. If this is going to be the year of your choice, the year that you desire, I need you to know, first of all, let me jump off right now. I'm going to jump in. I need you to put this in the chat. There is more in you. I'm talking to the people who've already, 18 days into this new year, have already checked out. You've already thrown your towel. You've already conceded. It's going to be another year. You put yourself back into the cycle. I need you to put this in the chat. There is more in you. There is more in you. We were never called, created, made, put here to be mediocre. We were not put here to be basic. And I'm telling you, I was sharing this with my wife this morning. Like, what's basic to you, what's mediocre to you, is major to somebody else. What you downplaying, somebody wish they had half of it. But you haven't even kicked into the second gear of the power of your person. There is more in you. Come on, I need you to grab. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm not making this into a motivational moment. I'm bringing a life hack to you that can alter the course of your entire life if you lean in. If you lean in and really put your faith out there. There is more in you. And I want you to know this, that what you are downplaying, somebody's dreaming about. One of my mentors told me this. He says, your mediocrity is someone else's dream. There is more in you. He being my mentor, he gave me this thought, and I want you to type it. If you can type it for me. He said, I want to introduce to you the principle of exception. I want you to say this: I am the exception to the rule. See, the rule was in place that I couldn't get married at 22. The rule was if I did get married at 22, it wouldn't last, that we couldn't get past the first 5 years. The rule was we had children too early, so bringing a child into a new marriage won't last. But because I understand that I am the exception to the rule, this is what I believe. What happens with them doesn't mean it's going to happen with me. I am the exception. I have the idea that whatever I believe and whatever I ask God in faith and pray for, I actually have the belief that I am the exception to everything that didn't happen for somebody else. I am the exception to the rule. I live past. What happens to them doesn't determine what happens to me. And the danger can be that we introduce our idea to low-minded, low-thinking people who end up assassinating our assignment because we haven't believed or grab a hold to the fact that what happened to you, it's not going to be the same for me. Let me take you somewhere to back that up, because I always want to back up everything I say with the word of God, because once you can grab it, once you can understand it, it turns your entire perspective around. All right, I'm gonna go Matthew chapter 25. Let me go in the New Living Translation. Matter of fact, no, let's go to the Amplified version. I'm gonna use the Amplified Bible. Matthew chapter 25. I'm gonna start with verse 14. All right, somebody put in the chat before me. This is the principle of exception. All right, you got to remain in this thought. You got to remain with the idea that no matter how many people are going toward this, mine is different. What happens to them doesn't determine it's going to happen to me. I'm the exception to the rule. Like what didn't pan and work for somebody else, not going to be my testimony. It's not going to be my story. Maybe you stopped when it got hard. Maybe you gave up when you got to the second course. Maybe you didn't facilitate all the way through, but I am the exception. And if it's going to be the best year ever for me, then I'm going to have to be the better version of who I am. And that means I'm going to have to challenge when adversity hits me. I have to understand that adversity is the birthplace of innovation, that when I can't move forward, that means God's going to give me a new strategy, a new way of thinking, or ding, a new idea that I can take the percept and turn it into a concept that ultimately give me a conception that walks me into what I never thought, but he always knew that I would have. I am the exception. I am the exception. All right, Matthew 25, verse 14. This is the this is the principle of exception. Matthew 25, verse 14. For it's just like a man, this is the parable of the talents. For it's just like a man who was about to take a journey, and he called his servants together and entrusted with them his possessions. To the one, To the one servant, he gave 5 talents. To another servant, he gave 2 talents. To another servant, he gave 1 talent. To each, every one of them, according to his ability, he then gave. So God just be okay. This is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to challenge your future based on somebody else's function. Don't downplay your promise on what somebody else is presenting. It doesn't matter if they're going in the same lane that you're going in. What they don't have is the gift that God gave you. You are the exception. Your idea is not there. Like, come on, man. Vic, just make it practical. McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King, all of them have the idea of a burger. I was getting ready to slam down my pen, but I can't. But McDonald's said, we going to throw 2 all-beef patties in special sauce. Burger King said, we going to flame broil ours. Right? Wendy's said, we going to put it in a square and we going to make it like yours is different. But I need you to tap into what is your portion. What is your idea? Somebody put that in the chat. What is your idea? I know what I want for you. I know what I desire for you. But if you don't have a want or desire for yourself, then I'm just in the way. And we could be our only hindrance to getting to our next level, whatever that looks like for you. He gave 1 5, he gave 1 2, he gave 1 1. So the response is going to be different. What happened to them won't determine what happens to me. Let's read on. So the one who received 5 talents went at once and traded them in, and he made profit and gained 5 more. So he took 5 and made 10. Verse 17, to the one he gave 2 made a profit and gained 2 more. So the one that gave 2, he gave 1. Now the one that he gave 1 received the one, dug a hole in the ground and hid it and produced nothing. Even though 5 got 5 and 2 got 2, they were able to maximize. Listen, they were able to get an idea to see what they could do to expand the gift. What are you doing right now? What steps are you taking? What are you doing to ensure that this is going to be the best year ever? What are you holding yourself accountable to? We can talk about what did happen. Can we do this? Can we stop talking about history and can we make future now? Can we stop talking about what has happened? Can we get out of the past and create a future that we don't even know we need? Can we break the system of history and create future? Can we do that? Because the longer I talk about who didn't, what didn't, how didn't, and me didn't, I'll never get to what can, what's waiting for me. And it's going to always show up in the time where you feel you're worse, where you feel you're less, but you're gonna have to get into a place. Let me calm down because I'm talking loud. You got to get into a place where you got to want it more. You got to want it more. You got to see it. You got to say it, even when what you are seeing, because I'm not talking about a function of your eyes. I'm talking about a matter of your heart. I am believing that it's going to be my best year ever. Now, I will tell you what I'm looking at right now, what I've seen for the first 18 days does not reflect what my heart believes. But this is why your faith is not consistent with what you see. Because if you can see it, you don't need faith. Faith is expanded in what you believe in, what has not been presented yet. And you have to get around that space. You gotta, you know what? I am the same today that I will be in the next 5 years, except for the people that I'm going to introduce to myself, the books that I'm going to read, the language that I'm going to listen to. Because I'm going to tell you, I told the church on Tuesday, and God challenged my own perspective with it, because I used to say that if you're going to have growth, if you're going to move to the next level, then you're going to have to subtract people from your circle. That in itself is true, but it's not the total picture. Because I had somebody to come back and challenge me and say, he said, Vic, growth does not only entail you subtracting people, but growth can also demand you adding people. Who needs to be added? What mentor? What life? What pastor? What spiritual thinker, leader? What driver? What person that you need to add to your life that's going to bring accountability, that's going to hold you accountable to assignment, that's going to hold you accountable to not thinking about what you want to do but writing it down, and then holding you accountable to documenting your success. Like, who are you adding? That's not going to stroke your ego, but going to tell you you're wrong when you're wrong. It's going to tell you you out of pocket when you're out of pocket. It's going to tell you you did not respond in that right. You did not handle that at the best of your ability. You did not speak to that person with integrity and in character. Who are you adding to your life that's not going to help assist you in going in the wrong direction that God never envisioned you? Who are you going to have around you that are not going to bandwagon and solicit and help you be wrong? Who are you adding to your life that's going to tell you you wrong? You need to get into somebody's church. You need to get somewhere where somebody can speak the word of life to you. Get off of Facebook and get to where somebody can get your face in a book and teach you and tell you where you're wrong. The one thing about Facebook, you always give and they never receiving. Ain't nobody can ever call you when you're doing something wrong. That's who you need to add to. Who are you adding? Because I would tell you, influence is a very powerful thing. We use it every single day. Those who are around us are being, okay, let me say it like this. People who are around us and who we choose to be around are shaping whatever actions and deposits we are placing or making or having in our own lives. I'll say that again. I'll say that again, because influence is a very powerful tool. We are those who we have around us and we are choosing to be around are shaping whatever actions and deposits we are either making in others or allowed to be placed in our lives. And I'm going to tell you, I just said it. I'm the same today, and I will be the same in 5 years, except the people that I bring in my life. And you have to be willing to have some people around you that's going to have the hunger that you have or that you need. I acknowledged this Tuesday that I was suffering from appetite apathy or appetite disparity. Let me correct that. Appetite disparity. In very quick, it was just I was desiring for people to have the same hunger that I have around me. I thought I needed new friends. I felt like I was on an island. I felt like I was by myself. I felt like I was the only one, this, that, and the other. And it was like, no, what you're suffering from, you have an appetite disparity. I need people around me who are hungry for change like me, who are hungry to do something that makes absolutely no sense in their life, in the life of their family, in their community, and what they have influence in. I need people around me. I need people around me that have dreams that are bigger than what's in their bank account, who have aspirations that challenges their very power of their person, who are being challenged by God to have an idea that exceeds even the position that I stand in. And because I felt that I didn't have those persons, that when I would verbiage what I was going through and what I was dealing with, the only thing that they could bring me was stuff that don't even matter. And it was making me frustrated because it's like, Lord, I need somebody that I can bounce this stuff off of that's not only going to hear what I'm saying, but going to add more to what I'm dreaming. That going to challenge my dream to say, that dream there is still too small. Vic, you got to see it from this perspective. Because if you're gonna have this amount of money, you still need to add a couple of 100,000 because there's still an area of your dream that you have not even considered. Do you have those people in your life? An appetite disparity. I'm hungry and I need some hungry people around me. Somebody put this in the chat. Are you hungry? And sometimes in that hunger, I'm misunderstood. You got to be willing to be misunderstood. I'm gonna tell you, you got to hang around thinkers if you want to be a better thinker. Let me give you some principle. You got to hang around thinkers if you want to be a better thinker. You got to hang around thinkers. I'm not talking about people who only complaining and griping and what ain't happening and just history talking people. I don't need history talking. I got too much in front of me that I have to accomplish, and I cannot subject myself to continue to deal with what is behind me. I have too much involved. I have too much on the line. For me, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about me. I got too much on the line for me to deal with what hasn't happened, who didn't show up, who's saying I cannot. There is too much in front of me. And so in order for me to think better, I got to get around people who are thinking bigger. In order for me to think better, I got to get around people who are thinking bigger. Notice I said what I have to do. I'm not saying what they have to do, because when you want better, you go after bigger. You got to make the adjustment. All right, put this in the chat. Make the adjustment. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to be outside of your comfort zone. You got to be willing to entertain conversations that you have never entertained before. You got to be willing to be around conversations that make you feel so inadequate that you can't leave. You just got to write more. You got to take more notes. Why? Because note takers are money makers. Woo! If you're going to think better, you got to get around people who are thinking bigger. You got to hang around spiritually hungry people if you want to have a hunger for God yourself. If you want to get into that place where your relationship with God is consistent, that it's not based upon your budget, that it's not based upon how good you're doing in life, that it's not based upon how low you are in life, but you have a consistency that you desire, you got to get around and surround yourself with people who are hungry for that same type of appetite. You got to hang around with positive people if you want to be more positive yourself. I like this one. You got to hang around with people who are accomplishing something with their lives so that you can too. I got to get around people with receipts. This is the year that I am bringing my person into the company of people who are doing it big, and who will not allow me to bring my I only have, who will allow me to bring my it only has been, or if I had, or I never had. If I'm bringing myself, I am bringing myself into uncomfortable spaces to hear people talk about how they've done more with less, even less than what I have, and they are not allowing that. They're not allowing me to continue in that speech. I'm only 4 years in. I'm only 5 years in. I started by myself. I feel like nobody. They're not entertaining that. They're coming in with, okay, what you have, what are you going to do with what you have? Because you need to find whatever is keeping you from entertaining the idea of greatness. The greatest thing on the earth is an idea. What is keeping you? Because if you can't find it, you won't be able to fix it. But being around people who have found it will help you find it so we can fix it. You got to get around people who are doing something. They're not sitting at home every day, hoping, wishing, crying, and praying, fussing and cussing. They are out and about creating opportunity. They're not waiting for it to knock. And if this gonna be the best year ever, you're gonna have to be the best year ever. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. First principle I want you to get is this. I like it, Renee. New engagements. I love it. You gotta be willing to step into things that you know you don't need to be. I know y'all didn't ask me. Oh yes, we did, because you possess something that you don't even know you have. You don't even know you have. I feel like giving a word of knowledge to you, Renee, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna keep the hat on, because you are getting ready to step into. You think new engagement is not the only thing that God is challenging you with this season, but your voice. He's challenging because your voice is really going to be in demand, and so what He's going to be challenging you with is your ability to step out in uncomfortable spaces, and places, and platforms, and positions, and to really speak what you even challenge to be in front of crowds. But I need you to know there's another you inside of you. All right, let's go. Let's go. First principle. Y'all ready for this one? You may have to go by yourself. You may have to go by yourself. When all right, let's go Bible. When God gives Joseph the dream, he has the coat of many colors and all of these things that were going to happen. The first resistance he met was his family. This is what I'm thinking. Y'all take your own revelation on it. I used to preach the message about how his brothers did him, and they threw him in the pit, and they sold him, and they planned his death, and then they said he was dead when he wasn't. And all the time I read it and I said it and I preached it, and then the Holy Spirit, he came back to me, says, Vic, I need to challenge you to see it another way. He says to me, did his brothers really do it, or did I create that separation momentarily to protect and preserve his promise? The pit was a protector to preserve the promise. I feel like talking in this room. What we have conceded as a vicious attack against us is really an assignment to preserve what is on us. If this ain't gonna help you, it's showing up bringing me through right now. I thought the pit was something that I did. I thought the pit was something as a result of what I didn't do. I thought the jealousy, I thought that the anger, I thought the animosity, I thought the rejection, I thought the back talking, the talking behind me, and the scandalizing my name, and the praying that I die and don't finish. I thought that the reason they were hoping that I failed was because, God, you didn't like me. But in essence, because you love me, you allowed momentary separation to preserve the promise. Watch this, that once it was produced, it was going to present favor for even the people that I thought was against me. Maybe it's for protection. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's your protection. Maybe it's not what's happening to you as much as it may be happening for you. Because sometimes even the people closest to you will talk you out of what's going to be a benefit for them. You know how many people, since we on the week celebrate Martin Luther King, you know how many people told him don't give that speech on the March on Washington? You know how many people told him don't tell your dream? You know how many people would have tried to stop him? Martin, they gonna kill you, man. Don't say nothing. Imagine how many dreams. Just imagine. I'm talking about people that's walking with him because they don't know your assignment. And a lot of times when they don't know your assignment, instead of helping you, they become a hindrance to you. We okay? Is it really an elimination or is it a limitation? Joseph, Joseph, Joseph brothers didn't like him. They all of a sudden just from the release of the dream. I need y'all to understand. I need y'all to understand when promotion or your next level, any time that you look to advance or be better than you were the previous day, there is always going to be something that's going to resist your next level, your progression, your mobility to move forward. Why, Vic? Because growth only happens as a result of resistance. Why do they put more weights when we're trying to lose weight? Because they are creating resistance, listen, to push the weight that's working against me to now work for me. Oh, that's why my trainer will always tell me, Vic, you don't need to be trying to put all those weights on that barbell. Just lift if you can do your natural weight, if you can work with your body weight, then the artificial ones will be easy. But a lot of us can't even deal with our own weight. Oh, help us, Lord. I need you to deal with you first. And sometimes dealing with you, you're going to have to go alone. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let me give you this. Check this out. Write this down. God's vision, purpose, mission, and plan, and the burden you have to perform and produce right now, it will only be accomplished in solitary spaces. The success, the vision, the mission, the purpose, the plan that you have will only be accomplished in solitary places. Sometimes God got to take us out of the crowd. He got to take us from the company. Sometimes the crowd is too loud. Sometimes it's too much noise, and we can't really hear what God is really trying to download to us because we're surrounded by noisemakers. And that noise will keep your belief in bondage. Okay. I gotta keep going. All right, let's see where we can go. All right, let's go to number 2 because I gotta go. Number 2. So in this, you may have to go momentarily alone. You just may have to go alone. There has to be. Let me give you number 2. There are going to have to be some trade-offs. We're going to have to be willing to make some trade-offs. What are you willing to let go of in order for you to grab a hold of? There's a book I read. It's called You Gotta Let Go to Grow. And it speaks to the comforts of yesterday versus the creativity of tomorrow. A lot of times, because we are so comfortable in what has always been, what can be is a threat to what has always been. But if you are going to get to the best year ever, you're going to have to leave the creature comforts of yesterday. It's a trade-off. It's an exchange. It's exchanging good to be great. Like there is something that you need to know about trade-offs. When you make them, you won't know the value of it until well into the trade-off. You won't know the value of why you're making this exchange until you're deep into the exchange. You got to be willing to, that was good. I ran past it, but I got to go back to that. You got to be willing to trade in good for greatness. You're good right now, but that ain't the level that God desires for you. He desires great. And so understanding the thing about trade-offs is you don't know the value of it until you're well into it. But you need to go ahead and make the trade because God has incredible amounts of purpose and a grace and a power and an anointing that will never be grasped and realized until you make the trade. It's like investing. You won't know until you make the trade. And you won't be able to get the wealth of your trade off if you're holding on to what hasn't yielded you anything. There has to be some trade offs. You got to be willing to exchange. All right, all right, all right, all right. You gotta you gotta exchange your feelings for your faith. Like that is that's a major move that can yield you a harvest that you don't even understand, right? And even when we was talking about Matthew 25, here's the trade-off. The guy said, let's see. He didn't know. They didn't know. The one that had 5 talents. He said, let me go make this trade-off. Let me invest. Let me try to do something. I don't know what's on the backside of it, but at least I'm going to be willing to step into something unknown to me, but known to God. He didn't know that he was going to be able to double his investment had he not made the trade-off. Some of us don't even know. We are like the guy with the 1 talent. We just go bury it and keep it because we're saying, at least I won't lose it. But faith is a risk. You got to be willing to step out of something comfortable to step into something creative. You got to step out of what you've always known and be willing to step in what you don't even understand yet. I'm talking about a God-breathed idea. And if here's another point, here's some tea. If God brings it to you, then there is a thing I believe that is already performed for you. But you won't know the value of it until you step into it. There is, let me say it like this, nothing fails like having success. Nothing fails like success. But you have to be willing to trade off how you've always done it, who you've always done it with. Like they're gonna always give you the same results. You gotta be willing to trade off. You gotta be willing to trade off old relationships for new ones. In a sense of not disconnecting from them, but it just adding in some new people. Trade-offs. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go. All right, let me get this last one. The last one is you gotta resist the urge to quit. You gotta resist the urge to give up and quit. You have to go alone. You have to make some trade offs, and you have to resist the urge to give up and quit. Let me lean in and tell you this. Y'all look at me. Y'all listen to me. Whatever you have to do to resist the temptation to give up and give in, do it. Whatever you have to do to resist giving up and quitting, do it. Do it. I'm telling you, adversity still going to confront you. Skeptics will still laugh at you. What we talked about Tuesday, them emotional snipers. Snipers are the ones you don't see, but you feel that affect you. You don't see a sniper because it's camouflaged. It's camouflaged in the surroundings. So you don't even see that emotional sniper that is talking you out of your dream, talking you out of your drive. And the moment you go to activate or launch, you get hit with something you didn't know was always there. They're going to be there. Enemies going to still mock you. Your own moves and whims going to try to destroy you. But you got to get beyond the fact of throwing in the towel and pursue. Don't give up. Pursue. Things may feel turbulent. You may not feel like holding on. But I need you to fight the urge of the temptation to quit. There are too many opportunities. There are too many miracles. There are too many blessings. There are too many open doors for you to give up on now. I need you to fight the urge because this is going to be the best year ever. But if it's going to be the best year ever, you got to be the best you ever. Hey, thank you, Ashley. You just, I appreciate this confirmation because it's like, yo, I'm grateful that I'm not the only one saying it. That so if God is coming back around to this, he's establishing a principle. He's establishing something that's life changing. Because it says, out of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So God is now back double backing. Not that you didn't hear him, but he's confirming what your bishop just told you. So now we got to activate. Now that we've heard the assignment and we have the instructions, we got to execute. Having the best year ever is going to be about execution. We got to get it off the page. We got to get it off the board. And we got to put our feet on it. And we got to go after it. We got to go after it. Somebody put it in the chat. Go after it. You have an authority and you have an ability that God has given unto you that will give you, that has given you everything you need in order to be successful, in order to accomplish what he's given you to accomplish. You have the authority and you have the power. You have the power and you have the authority. Genesis 1:26, the Bible says, and God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. The motivation that God had in creating you was that you have power and authority. Authority is privilege, force, capacity, competency, delegated influence. Power is strength, ability, and abundance. So God says you have power and you have authority. Are they the same? No. What's the difference? Write this down. Power is ability and potential. Authority is permission. So you have potential and you have permission. Now you got to produce it. You got to get up and you got to have the best year ever. All right, y'all. I am out of time, but I am certainly not out of word. I want you to know that I love each and every last one of y'all. I'm praying for you. I am praying that you experience the best year ever. I'm praying that you are willing to become the best you ever. Get where you need to get who you need to get around. Find yourself in a place where you're going to be held accountable, that you can no longer limit your life and live underneath the privilege that God has given on you. You got power and you got authority. You got potential and you got permission. You don't have to wait on anybody else to validate or affirm what God has given you. Watch this. The most powerful thing on the earth is an idea. We got to take it from idea to take it and call it to be a concept. From the concept, we got to create conception. We got to give birth to something this year, results this year. We got to tangibly see something that we believed in our heart. This is the year that we're going to hold in our hand what we've believed in our hearts. Go make future, man. Go make future. Let's stop talking about history. Go make future. All right. I love y'all. Listen, I need you to help me share this message. Tag somebody, touch somebody, keep it going. If you're watching the replay, just put replay in the comments. I just want to make sure we want to create every opportunity for you to no longer live beneath your privilege, but you can stand in the faith. You can stand in the assurance and in the confidence. Watch this, because God believes in you, so do I. And I'm making sure that you now going to have to believe in yourself. I need you to believe in you. I need you to believe in you. If it's going to be your best day ever, it's going to be a result because you're the best you ever. And you are. There is more in you. There is more in you. And we need that more to come alive. We need it to expand. We need it to come now. Your family depending on it. Joseph, if he had not become more, his family would have suffered. So God has you in a place because he's developing you. It's not the pit, it's protection. I'm going to take that. I'm going to work that some more. I'm going to work that. Shatina, I'm going to work that. It's not the pit, it's protection. I'm preserving the promise over your life so that it can be presented well. All right. I love y'all. This has been another version of Faith Every Day. Listen, I want you to know we're praying for you. We love you. We thank God for you. If this is your first time connecting on this page, please, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn your notifications on so that you can always be in the community when we are coming, because we are coming just to inform you, to remind you of who you are, what God has said, so that you never stay out of it, that you stay in it, that you accomplish what God has already put in you and on you to bring to pass. You're going to be better for it. Your family is going to be better for it. Your community is going to be better for it. Ultimately, God is going to get the glory out of your life. My name is Victor Johnson. I am with the Revival Center Church, Virginia Beach. Know that we are intentional to impact and influence one person, one family, one community at a time. God bless y'all.